Hello everyone. Welcome to today's daily pitch, 21 of April 2026. Let's dive into the latest economic events, technicals, and see what's moving the markets. As usual, we will be starting with our economic calendar and see what do we have as pre-planned economic events for today. Okay, so looking at our economic calendar, we see that we had some economic data for the NZD traders. The CPI came in higher than expected. Moving on, we had the unemployment data for the UK, which actually came out better than expected and better than previous as well. The climate count change worse than expected. We are seeing some mixed economic data for the UK. Moving on, during the day, we have in focus during the NYSE the core retail sales and retail sales for the US for March. It will be very interesting to monitor these two numbers, especially they are for March, the month where the geopolitical tension started in the Middle East. If the numbers higher or lower than expected, although the forecasted is 1.4 while the previous was 0.6, similar to the core, forecasted much higher. So we will keep an eye on these numbers to see if we have any strong fluctuations with these, and it could hold some market weight. That's it regarding the economic data. Looking at the charts, at the general sentiment, the dollar index still rejecting the 97.5. A lot of contradicting news we are hearing, sometimes that they will reach a deal, sometimes that some escalations are on the way, so the markets are a little bit on the edge. For the treasury yields, breaking above the 4%, reaching the 4.46 during the peak of the war, and currently we are at around the 4.3%. This is of course related to the oil prices and inflation expectations. And for the VIX, we can see that the VIX is slightly picking up after it reached the 17.6. Currently it's at 19, almost reaching the 20. The VIX is also known to be the fear index. For today, we will be analyzing US30, Euro USD, and gold. We will be starting with the US30. In general, the US equities are printing new all-time highs. Speaking about the S&P 500, there is some risk-on environment in the markets. Investors are buying the dip, but personally, I would be very careful because any headline, which is the headlines right now are moving the markets more than the economic data. Any headline could bring some strong volatility and strong take profit. So for trade ideas for Euro USD and the areas I will be interested in are the following. I will be marking here this area, the 49,900 to 930. We will be taking it level by level. Scenario number one is the following. The week opened and we had a market gap down. It retested these candle highs at the 49 and currently approaching the 49,900. So scenario number one, I will be looking for that if price moves up, retest this level, but just consolidate candles having an upper wick and failing to close above here, I will be looking for the following price action with my next target is the 49,100, which is these candle lows here. This is the first scenario. The next scenario, in case we have some optimistic news, deal is on the way, we can see that the US30 will be breaking these candle highs, especially a confirmation will be an intraday candle closing higher. The next one making a lower wick retesting, and in this case, our next target looking to the left will be these candle highs at the 50,500. Let's mark these highs as well. This is our next target. The next scenario, what if we have additional fear in the markets? Oil prices are moving up, gold is moving up, the XY is moving up, and the market is in a risk of environment. In case we retest this level, the 49,100, and we have additional bearish momentum, we are closing below here. My next target, in case we close below here, are these candle highs or the lows here at the 48,200 to 250. So I will look for a candle closing below this level, the next candle making an upper wick, retesting the 49,000. In this case, I will be looking for a movement down to the 48,150. During this week, we don't have too much important economic data, so the whole focus in the markets right now is on the negotiations and talks between the US and Iran. If they will reach a deal or there will be any additional escalations, this is what will give us the fundamental catalyst and what will be moving the markets. That's why for US30 I will be marking these levels, taking it level by level, and of course with more fundamental or headlines we will have additional clarity. Moving on to Euro USD. Let's have a look on Euro USD. I haven't analyzed Euro USD for some time, so let's make our analysis together. As you can see, the 1.183, it's an area very important. We saw a reaction here 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then we are moving down. This is the first area of interest I will be looking at. I will be also looking at this area of interest. Keep in mind that we are on the hourly time frame, so even if I drag it a little bit back, you can see it's a zone where several reactions took place. So scenario number 1 on Euro USD, I'm going to talk technical and fundamental. Scenario number 1, if we see any further escalations in the market, and this will give oil a push up, DXY will be moving up, and here we will see a movement down. I want to see a break below the 1.172. In case I see candles breaking below these lows, I will be targeting, my first target will be here, the 1.165. I will be marking this not a major but a minor zone to watch out for the price action if we reach this level. And additionally, if we break lower, supported by the fundamentals I mentioned, an escalation, dollar stronger, we could be breaking lower and retesting the 1.145 again. This is the first scenario. The second scenario for me is reaching the 1.185. Just to note that this area here is a no trade range for me. It could be, we could see a lot of noise, candle wicks. So personally, I believe it will be a dangerous and not the best risk to reward ratio. Scenario number 2 on Euro USD, what if we have a deal, dollar is software, and in this case, we could see candles moving to this level, breaking above the 1.185. If we break above the 1.185, an intraday candle closing, retesting, my next target will be the first area here at the 1.19. Additionally, if we have additional bullish momentum in the market and we are able to break this high, the next target of course will be approximately the 1.2, a little bit higher, 1.27. Here it's very important as well to note that the psychological level of 1.2 to the Euro USD is very important, so expect to see market reaction. Here we reached the 1.2, broke a little bit higher, then a strong snap down. So keep in mind, I will put the 1.2 flat, although we could be digging a little bit higher. These are the scenarios I will be looking for on Euro USD, and similar to the US equities, it will be highly correlated to the fundamentals, especially the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. Finally, let's move on to gold, see what are the opportunities, what are the scenarios. Before that, if you like our content, don't forget to leave us a like, follow and subscribe. If you want us to analyze any currency pair, you can type for us in the comment section and we will go through it. Let's move on to gold, see how was our last analysis, what happened, and what should we expect for today. Gold in general is not having the best price action. It is having a messy price action, especially when it's in this range. During our last analysis, we had this area at the 4,860 to 70. Price went up, retested this level, and then closed here. And then at the market open, due to the escalations during the weekend or some fear in the weekend, gold had a gap down. Yes, due to the fear in the weekend, oil prices moved up, dollar moved up, and gold moved down. So for me, the scenarios I will be looking for on gold is the following. Let us clean some of the areas and lines. Okay. Scenario number 1 on gold. I will be waiting either for price to retest the 4,700. Looking to the left, you can see several reactions took place. Even here, whenever there was a weekend gap, price broke higher, reacted, and then retested the 870. So reaching the 4,700, I will be looking for any technical formation indicating reversal, a double bottom, or just a consolidation, and candles start to break the consolidation high. And my next target will be here, the 4,780. I will mark this as a minor zone. With additional momentum, if we are able to break higher, I would like to see a retest of the 4,860 to 870. And honestly, my preferable scenario is the following, is seeing candles retesting these highs once again, monitoring the price action. In case I see candles failing to break higher, just rejecting, I will be looking for sells with my next target once again at this minor area. The next scenarios that could take place maybe during the next couple of days or during this week is the following. What if we broke higher? Well, breaking higher, breaking above the 4,880, I want to see candles closing clearly bullish above this level at the 4,900. Candles closing above the 4,900, my next target in this case will be here to the 990. And the final scenario, what if we have a bearish momentum and candles closing below the 4,700? In this case, with intraday candle closing lower, the next candle making an upper wick, I will be targeting the 4,600 as my next area of interest. So to clear things up regarding gold, these trade ideas could take place today. Of course, you will never know what the volatility will be. One headline could bring us a huge volatility, but realistic expectations during today, we could be having this price action, either rejecting higher or retesting this level. And later on during the week, we could be breaking above the 4,900 up to the 5,000, or in case we have a break below the 4,700, make your next target at the 4,600 or the 4,590. Okay guys, so I believe that's it for today. I wanted to give you just a summary of what's going on. I believe the price action on these pairs is the best for now personally. So hopefully you enjoyed our episode. Trade safely, keep your eyes on the headlines, especially since they are moving the markets, and we will see you soon in our next session. Thank you so much for joining.